Welcome to Peter and Roughie's Football Show, your daily fix of football chat. It's hard to believe in this festive season that 2015 is almost over, and as we head as quick as we possibly can towards Christmas, some people are wearing jumpers to give their wives a little indication of what they're looking for on Christmas Day. And I'm delighted that Alan Ruff is here. You can't see Alan at the moment. He's the beacon on the left-hand side of me, and next to him is a more sedate John Rankin, our boot-room guest. Delighted to have their company. Of course, I mentioned there that 2015 is almost over. When you look back at that year, it's been really a season of contrasting fortunes. You know, at the start of 2015, John Rankin, Dundee United certainly didn't envisage the problems that you have at the end of the year.
No, I mean, when you look at the start of the year, a very memorable victory against Dundee, 6-2 at Tannadice, New Year's Day. I mean, that's the start of 2015, and from then it's not went so well. With regards to the end of last season, we toiled to come into the top six. And then we got ourselves there with the cup final, which we looked forward to, and that ended disappointingly as well. And then obviously we started the season this season with high hopes of finishing in the top six and maybe gathering a European spot. And so far it's not went to plan. We've been struggling. We're currently at the bottom of the table, but the performances of late have been a lot better. We're improving. And we can see as our players, as a group, we can see ourselves getting out of it, and it's a case of pulling ourselves together, being strong as a unit, keeping the team spirit the way it is, and then getting results that forces us out of there.
Yeah, in a strange sort of way, Roughie, you've been highlighting it week in, week out. Dundee United are a side that create chances, but maybe haven't been able to take as many as they should have.
Yeah, I don't know if John would agree. In the last 2 or 3 games, when you're struggling down the bottom of the league and you're not creating chances, it's hard to take. But that must be the frustrating side thing for them, because they're going into games and you're getting chances. You're getting not just getting chances, but getting chances at crucial times, like one each. You know, if you stick it away, it's 2-1. The heads are up. Everybody's, but it's going the opposite way every time. They miss that chance to go ahead. They lose one at the back, and then the heads go down a wee bit. Yeah,
and again, it doesn't help, John, I would imagine, when you have younger players in there, because despite all the talent and the potential, you know, that can affect them to a greater effect than it would maybe an experienced player.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to experience. I've been in this situation before, but unfortunately for ourselves, none of our players have been in this situation before. The young boys are finding it a wee bit harder than the experienced ones, because they want to play the free-flowing football that you would imagine a team in the top six, and it's right now it's mainly about rolling the sleeves up, digging deep, and coming out the other end. I mean, as Roughie said earlier, we've had umpteen chances in the games that have gone by, and we haven't taken them. That's a disappointing thing. We've not been ruthless enough at both ends, but as he said as well, we are creating chances. We're creating bucket loads of chances. We're just not taking them, and it's not just the strikers. It's throughout the team. We're all getting these chances. I mean, I've been throwing goals myself and not took the chance, and it's hugely frustrating. But we feel that when one result goes our way, they'll have a knock-on effect, and we'll find ourselves putting a run together. I mean, we've been here before on a losing run. I think it was 2 seasons ago. We were in a 6-game winless run. But before that, we'd been an 8-game unbeaten run, and that's that type of run we need to put together just now that will force our way out of this situation that we find ourselves in.
Yeah, and strangely enough, you get 2 different styles of managers. You know, was there a sense of sadness among the players that they'd let Jackie down?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a bit of sentiment there when Jackie left. I mean, we felt as if we did let him down, which we did. There's no doubt about that. I think performances were okay, results were poor, which was the frustrating thing, and we probably became a wee bit soft, if we're being honest. The boys, I'll hold their hands up and say they weren't doing enough to get wins in games, which was hugely disappointing, and we did let them down, and obviously sad to see him go. Now we've got Mixu in charge. The gaffer's come in since I think it's October he came in, and it's 2 hugely contrasting characters, as you mentioned. He's very hands-on, the manager now. He's very demanding, which is good, players are aware of what he wants from them. They know what he wants. They know the instructions to follow out and carry out. And when we do that, then it's successful. He's trying to bring across a style which he believes in. And the players are believing in that style as well. And of course, it takes time. And we're very confident with the way that we are playing that we'll get chances. I mean, Roughie spoke earlier about us creating chances. We're creating a lot of chances. We're just maybe making the odd individual mistake at the back and letting teams maybe get a goal when we're dominating play, and it's hugely frustrating. But as I said, we're confident. The spirit's not low. The spirit's very high in his dressing room. And I don't think it's funny, Peter, because people often question how low the confidence is when you're sitting bottom of the league. But I go into training every day, and I'm in training Monday to Friday, and I don't see any boy low in confidence. Usually somebody maybe dropping form or that as well, or confidence. But for me, the only thing that we don't have at the moment is results, and it's strange because, as I said, the confidence and the form levels, especially in training, there's nobody hiding. Everybody's working hard and putting a shift in, and eventually it'll turn.
Yeah, I mean, strangely enough, though, I think January could be so crucial, Roughie, for United.
Yeah, but not only for them, but every player we've had in the show, they're looking at the fixtures. You're looking at the fixture list, you're looking what's round the corner, you're looking what's coming up, and if you can look at games, and I mean, you can't actually work out how they're all going to go, but if you look at maybe 5 or 6 games, you could look at it and go, well, 2 or 3 wins there could just, against the particular sides that are just above you, can just bring you back into it and then put the pressure back onto them.
Yeah, and again, everybody wants to secure their future. A manager undoubtedly comes in and says, it's a clean sweep here, you're playing for your future. A lot of you guys are going to be out of contract. Does it have a positive effect, John, or does it have a negative effect?
Yeah, probably both. I mean, probably some players will be able to cope with the pressure and some won't. I know there is a lot of people out of contract in the summer at our club, but I mean, I don't think anyone wants to have a relegation in their CV. I mean, I know I certainly don't, and I'm speaking amongst the boys, we don't want that. I mean, everyone is playing for the future, whether it's at Dundee United or whether it's at another club. We're all playing for a future in the game. Whether you're 18 or whether you're 32, you're looking for something, whether it be your next club or another contract at Dundee United. And as I said before, I mean, we don't want relegation in our CV, but you want to be playing at the highest level, and for us to be offered contracts at the club, then you want to try and keep the club in the top flight. And hopefully, as I said, if we can keep the performances that we've had so far, we can keep them up and put the winning touch to it and get a few results, go and grind out results, the confidence will be sky high, and we worry about contracts later.
Yeah, and again, it won't be any great saving grace for anyone, Roughie, the suggestion of league reconstruction. I mean, it might have been a saving grace before for a few clubs, but I don't know. I cannot. It could happen, but can you see it happening in the summer as quick as that? Maybe a 16-team league?
Well, I thought the introduction of the League Cup had something to do with it, hand in hand. A lot of the clubs are saying there's not enough games, we're going to lose games. If they can come up with something else on the back of that, I'm sure a lot of the clubs would go for it. Everybody likes change, but I don't know. We saw the carry on the last time when we were trying to get change. It was people voting for them and voting against, and people as wee corridors.
Can you clarify them? No, just in case we get Twitter saying who's them.
No, I think we were getting stories that were going to meetings and they were all sort of a guard in their own corner, which is acceptable, and I think that would be the same thing as well. There might be some teams out there who would say no and some wouldn't, but I'm not going to say who they would be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's be blunt about it, John. If it goes down to the last vote to keep it the same or extend it and save Dundee United, if Rangers get that final vote, you're out. Because that's the tribalistic nature of this game. I'm winding you up on it, but at the end of the day, I mean, a lot of us have to look and say, is it for the betterment of the game? Would you like to see a bigger team there, from a player's perspective, from a PFA chairman perspective?
Honestly, Peter, I think something needs to change. I mean, I've played in the SPL now for I think 10 years, and it's been the same every year. I think something needs to change to give our game the spark. And I was at a management committee meeting for the PFA about 3 weeks ago, just before the news broke of the league, not the league reconstruction, the League Cup reconstruction, and the feeling amongst the players were it's positive. It's great. I mean, I know, albeit the season starts a week earlier. Well, pre-season will start a week earlier. But it's something exciting, it's something new, and I think a 16-team league the players would probably respond to and be happy to be a part of, and it's something new, it's something exciting. Why not? The only other thing that we spoke about at the management committee meeting, having the part-time teams coming in earlier, it's great because they get paid through the summer.
Yeah, okay. It's something that undoubtedly will gather a bit of pace and we'll be talking about in the next part of the programme as well as looking back at some of the highlights of 2015. Welcome back to Peter and Roughie's football show. Alan Rough is alongside me, Peter Martin. Our bookroom guest is Dundee United's John Rankin, who also is the PFA chairman. And of course, you mentioned, we were talking about just before the break, Roughie, about the possible extension of the league. The League Cup is in there. What's the reception been like to the League Cup among the players, John?
Great. As I said, they're really excited about it. See something new. The players are always respond to. When we've seen it in the dressing room, I mean, obviously, pre-season's not a great subject at this time of the season anyway. But when you speak about pre-season, you always think about running, and I mean that's kind of phased out now. We don't run as much. It's mainly ball work for early doors, and it's something that we're looking at, and you're seeing it regionalised, and you're thinking, well, we're starting the season, and our first pre-season game could be a big derby, which is great for our point of view, because we're looking at it and thinking, well, the first game of pre-season is not a meaningless friendly. Because for me, when I was younger, it was great. You're thinking, right, we'll run, we'll work hard, we'll play against a lower team, we'll get lots of the ball, and then we'll build it up, we'll play against more stronger teams. But then as you get older, the more meaningless the game is, the more annoying it is, because you're just desperate to get your teeth into the nitty-gritty and desperate to get back into the competitive stuff. And as soon as we heard that it was starting so early, there was a great lift, because you're thinking, right, we're competitive games straight away. But there was also that low, because you're thinking, when's our holidays going to end? Is it going to get any shorter? Which it is. It does. We've been informed it'll be a week it'll knocked off the holiday. But
well, what's the reaction to that been? Because at the end of the day, a lot of people think, there's a misconception that everybody's earning barrel loads of money. There's also that misconception that players get it easy. But this is a week off the holidays. There's not too many breaks that I can think of in a season, and especially for some players who may well be internationals. Yeah,
I mean, as you say, there's not a lot of breaks throughout the season. I mean, we're coming up to Christmas, and we're training Christmas Day. A lot of people don't see that side of it. They just think we're turn up and play Boxing Day. That's not the case. We're in most of the season. We don't get a lot of time off. This is our working time, which is fair enough. I mean, I think next season we're speaking about a winter break, but I think that's only for the top flight. I don't think the Championship downwards are going to have the winter break. I think the club's voted in that. So at this moment in time, we're obviously looking forward to the season continuing. But when you get sorry, what was I speaking about there again? I've gone.
Don't worry about that. Roughie does that.
It does all the time. I didn't mean to carry me over.
The break is becoming shorter and shorter.
It is becoming. That's what I'm saying. Is the season continues. That's what I was meaning. That sooner or later the season will actually continue and roll on to the next. But is that the start of summer football? Because if we do bring the season back earlier, eventually they'll roll together and we'll have the one continuous season. But I think Poland done that to change it at some point. I mean, I know I'm quite friendly with Barry Douglas, and he's over there. Their season just continues to roll, and then they get 2 weeks, and they're back into the next season.
Yeah.
But he was also talking about the consequences of the smaller clubs and the players there losing money in a closed season because the wages.
That's a big point. That is a big point. When we look at it, I mean, I was speaking about the season rolling together there. See, when you see the part-time teams, when the season finishes, they stop getting paid. They don't get paid throughout the summer. And you're talking about the glamour of football. This is the downside of it. The part-time players stop getting paid when the season finishes, and then they do their pre-season. So they're training a Tuesday night, maybe a Wednesday night, definitely a Thursday night, a double session on a Saturday, and also a Sunday. And then the season starts. They don't get paid for them double sessions. They only get paid when the season starts. So from the last competitive game of that season till the first competitive game until the next season, there's no money there. But they're asked to actually put in more work than what they do. or what they do throughout the season, with regards to the double sessions on the Saturday, being away on the Sunday, and everything else.
Is that something the PFA have fought?
Yeah, we fought for it, Peter. But obviously, at this moment in time, it's difficult because there's the income throughout part-time teams, and players would rather do the pre-season. And some players would rather even go and do pre-season at a team that's maybe a level up, with a chance of maybe getting a contract here, but then they don't and they fall back. But the part-time wages are all quite similar, from what I'm led to believe, and it is difficult. It's really difficult. I feel for them, I do, because they don't get paid, as I said, throughout the summer. These people have still got families to support, kids, meals to put on the table, and that wage is something that goes towards their family income.
Yeah, absolutely. I might as well mention to you now the mere fact that you forgot your train of thought there. The boys will cane you for it. I just thought I'd tell you that. And on Monday they'll be looking and thinking, wow, John can't even remember what the next sentence is. That's called dressing room humour, Roughie. You well know. And wouldn't it be great if you were a modern day footballer, Roughie? You don't need to run as much in the pre-season. That would have been great for you.
That would have been particularly pre-season. You know, I just hated running.
I never said don't run as much, Roughie. There's just a ball there that you run after. It's not as if it was cones you run around the ball.
I always thought if I could cover 18 yards in so many seconds, that was good enough for me.
The other point I was going to make to you guys, listen, you as PFA chairman, you're looking at professional footballers, you're seeing the standards. I'm not for a minute going to ask you to analyse whether it's a drop, a massive drop, whatever. I was speaking to Martin O'Neill last week, and you know the message, even for someone who's a manager of the Republic of Ireland who pipped us to the European Championships. You know, do we look at them and say they're any better skillfully than us? Do they have a greater pool of players to call on? One of the things that came through from chatting to them was, quite simply, players need to work harder on their skills. Whether the coaching of it, it's been drummed out of them, I do not know. What's your take on that aspect of it?
Well, when you speak about coaching, there's one thing I would like to change. I mean, I know Martin O'Neill, it's nothing to do with what Ireland do, because I don't believe they do it, but I would like to see, I was speaking about part-time contracts and our players up, a lot of our players up in the summer. As part of contracts now, I would like to see it being introduced where the players actually take part in coaching young kids. I know they do it voluntary at the moment, but as part of their contract, they go back to grassroots level and actually coach these kids. Now, you're taking me out of an environment where I'm seeing the manager coach and our assistant Gordon Young, and I've seen obviously Jackie McNamara and Peter Houston coach before that, but I've obviously got my own ideas in coaching, like a number of players have. And as part of those contracts, I would like to see them going out, whether it's afternoon or whether it's night, and doing hours with kids and putting forward our experience, letting the kids learn from us. But not only the kids learning from us, Peter, we're learning from them.
Yeah.
Because we're making mistakes with these young kids on a training field and learning how to coach. I think it'd be a great experience for them, first and foremost, and also ourselves. So you're getting better coaches, you're getting better players, and you're spending time on a training ground.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I was thinking, Roughie, you know, classic example, Gary Mackay-Steven. I think if you look back at some of the footage of him at Dundee United, he's flicking the ball up in the air, he's heading it over another player. I think it was gone viral at one point, one of his little bits of skill against Kilmarnock. I don't see too many of those flicks when he's playing top flight with Celtic. I just wonder if, you know, players, you know, because it's so cutthroat now and the stakes are so high, you know, do you only see the absolute top players have the, you know, the audacity to be able to go and do that? I mean, Nathan Adua get absolutely slated for showing a little bit of skill.
No, I think basically it boils down to confidence and how you're playing, you know, how you're playing within the team. It's okay being an individual, but the thing I've noticed more than anything now, you've got to be a team player. You've got to be part of the team. You just can't be that wee guy who flicks it and entertains, because you've got another 10 guys on the part that you're also playing with as well. So I think if you can be more of a team player than an individual, the rest of the players respect you a wee bit more. I think
Roughie's spot on there with the structure over the years. I think a lot of freedom has been taken out of players. I don't think it's fear. That's mentioned too often for me. But I think a lot of freedom's taken away because they see their role in this team and they have to fulfil that role. Whereas when you seen Gary Mackay-Stevens maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 seasons ago, when he first came into the team, albeit he was a young boy and he was playing without any fear, but I think that freedom has maybe been removed from his game. As he's got a wee bit older, he's not regarded as an out-and-out winger. He has to come in and link and do things that he's not been asked to do before. And I think that, as I said, the freedom's just completely gone from his game. That'll come back, because as he gets older and he'll see, well, how many years have I got left in my career before I'm just going to go and enjoy myself. And I think that's the thing with players like that, like say your Garys, your Nadirs as well, because he had a spell like that at us as well. It's playing with an enjoyment and seeing them with a smile on their face, and when you do see that, you see a lot better skills and stuff. I
certainly can't wait for the coaching session with the kids when John stands there with the ball and goes, right, I'm now going to teach you about the squiggler. Right? You're at the halfway line, but you've got to bank on the keeper.
He shuts his eyes.
That's exactly it. Roughie, have you had that before?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I can remember when he had that
shut his eyes the night like
shut that. When he tried that shot, I went, nah, he's not going to hit it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, full marks to you for trying it. We'd like to thank John Rankin for coming in to the programme and giving us the player's perspective, certainly from the PFA point of view as well. We wish John, Dundee United, a very Merry Christmas, and there'll be more shows coming up this week, hopefully, that you'll enjoy. From Roughie and myself, join us tomorrow at 6:30 if you can.